Hey y'all, how you doing? Welcome back for another channeled message of what Spirit wants you to know right now. We're going to be covering full moon in Capricorn energy update, what you can expect, some things that it is that may help you align with this energy and how you can use it to further yourself. Okay. Now I do got some notes here. I'm going to go over my astrological notes that it is that I have. And then we will cleanse, set the space, call in spirit, and then we will dive into some cards on this. Y'all, I've got a lot of other downloads that has something to do completely different than the astrological energies going on. So that'll be a bonus reading, but I'll do that after collective messages. Personal readings are for TikTok subscribers only. If you're watching the replay over on YouTube, y'all stay tuned. I've got something completely different going on for memberships over there. Be sure to subscribe, like, follow, share, comment, engage so I can pick up on your energy. Okay. Hi y'all, how you doing? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. What's going on, y'all? All right, so let's talk about this full moon in Capricorn energy, okay? This is not a moon to coddle you, okay? This moon is meant to crown you. Does that make sense? So it is very intense, right? Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. It's about structure, systems, hierarchy, regulation, rules, self-discipline, all those different types of things, okay? And we've got a lot of this Neptune energy too, okay? So that has to do with the deep psyche. All right, so a lot of things that are now also, we also just had a transit. Uranus just entered into Gemini, so you got all that crazy energy coming up in here, right? We just had a new moon next to that Jupiter moving into Cancer, which is really amping up luck, especially around the home, our relationships with other people. There's a lot of healing in relationships, healing with the self, the relationship with self, those sorts of things, okay? So let's see what it is that we got going on here. Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. Thank y'all so much for being here. What's going on, TikTok? Feeling the love. What's going on? All right, here we go. So it says, this full moon is not here to play. Capricorn energy is the cosmic CEO, okay? I want you to think you are about to be the CEO of your own life. This is about regaining sovereignty, okay? So you're grounded, you're wise, and legacy focused, right? This is about, thanks for the love, y'all. I'm sending all that love and light back to you, times 10. I see y'all in here. Thank y'all for being here. What's going on? So I want y'all to think legacy focused, right? This is about the legacy that is that we're leaving behind, right? When we pass over, what is being left here? And I talked a lot about this in my live stream on Instagram the other night when I was talking about the transit. But basically what this is about is, or something that is I heard that I shared with y'all, is how we're being asked, this is kind of like a Native American or indigenous type of belief, right? And it's, who was it? It was with the Lakota tribe, I think, maybe Navajo teachings. But he was saying, the chief was talking about how we are borrowing this earth from our children, you know, from our grandchildren, from our great-grandchildren. And putting it in that perspective of leaving it better than we found it is, you know, have you ever heard that when you're like in grade school or whatever, like kindergarten, you know, you want to leave the table better than you found it. You know, it's the same thing with our planet, right? When we're leaving the legacy behind. Okay, so a lot about this, like, what are you leaving behind? What are you trying to build, right? It's time to get out of your shell, out of your box, and really let yourself shine. Give yourself permission, right? We're not listening to everybody else's opinions about things, right? And that's something else, right? Saturn can also be very dictating. You know, it can be very oppressive and controlling. So in tarot, it actually represents the devil card, okay? And this is where we are giving too much power of ourselves up to something else, right? Because that devil energy, right, it doesn't have any power over us unless we give it the power. You know, we have to choose to give that up. You know, even if you're tricked into it, you know, you psych yourself out or other people influence you, whatever it is, you've given your power up to whatever that is, you know. So there's a lot of that energy here too, where you're taking your energy back. You're not being obsessive over things, right? We talked about that the last stream, where we are getting better at this law of detachment, or the art of detachment. And it's not mean that you're cold and you're bitter. It just means that you're not attached to a certain type of outcome for something, right? The more that you release the need to control, the more it actually gives control, right? That energy exchange with things. Okay, what you put out comes back. So already be in the energy that you assume that you have it, right? You're already living the life that you want to live, right? And that's how it shows up in your present reality. Okay, it's a lot about this manifestation things too. So if y'all been working on manifesting better, manifesting bigger, right? Y'all been working a lot about this law of attraction, law of balance, right? Maybe you've been studying Hermetic law or just universal law. Anyway, there's a lot of that going on, okay? All right. what else does it say? Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. Thank y'all so much for the badges. I appreciate that. If y'all are wanting personal readings, I've got live personal readings open for subscriptions only, okay? And if you ever have a badge next to your name, and at times I'm doing subscribers readings, you just pop in, love, and you get your reading, okay? All right, let's see. It also, get my notes. All right, yeah, it's going to feel really intense, especially since it's the second Capricorn full moon. This is our second full moon in Capricorn, right? So that's a big deal too. So this is double whammy. This is more amped up. The first one was on June 21st. And it's like the universe is doubling down, saying you didn't get the message last time, right? You weren't listening last time. Here come your angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, however that resonates for you. All of the above, whatever label you want to put on it. They're like, boo-boo, were you not listening to me last time? Right? You were repeating cycles. So there's a lot of this releasing these karmic debts, these karmic cycles. We're ending like big life cycles here. So big deal. Collective energies. We have powerful endings and permanent closures, right? We just talked about that. Realizations about responsibility, status, and structure. Okay, so where do you need to be more structured? Where can you let go a little bit? Let yourself have a little bit more fun, a little bit more room to expand some, you know? You're reclaiming authority over your life. So where people, places, and things, situations, ideas, all belief systems, you know, there's a lot of that breaking, not even just individually, but you're seeing it on a collective level, you know? I don't know if y'all have noticed, but it's 1-1 on the clock. Thank you, Spirit. Spirit's with us. It's like the more that it is that we ascend as a collective, right? Because this is the greatest awakening that we've ever experienced on this planet during this time. It's an amazing time to be a part of this collective group energy, even though we are experiencing like chaos, turmoil, you know, people are experiencing big hardships. But this is the energy to embrace of infinite possibilities. Believe in the impossible, right? Even possible is in impossible, or I'm possible is in impossible, right? So just think about it that way. We're switching our perspective here. All right, we have releasing emotional baggage that's keeping you from success. Yes, you're releasing all those built up emotions, okay? If you're somebody that, let's see, this also gives some sort of like childhood trauma type of stuff, or maybe like just deep-rooted belief systems, all right? So maybe you grew up in a household where it was like very strict, where you were meant to be seen but not heard, right? That really old school way of thinking or being or, you know, raising a child, right? So you had to oppressed, or your emotions were very oppressed, or you had to internalize a lot, right? You weren't allowed to express yourself in that type of way. Okay, so there may be a lot of that where you're really regaining control over your emotions and how you express that, you know, in a healthy way. We have divine masculine healing, father wounds, and discipline purpose. So this has a lot to do with all people. I don't care what gender you are, how you identify, okay? It's the masculine energies in all of us. This is the way that we take action. This is the way that we protect ourselves. This is the way that we create boundaries. You know, this is the way that we get amped up and conquer things or take charge in our own life, right? So it may even be starting to learn how to simmer down that anger and not act on impulse, right? Because we can be really impulsive when we get caught up in our emotions, right? We have to get grounded, right? Stop and think, okay? Because you fuck up when you panic. You don't want to get all panicky and then start, you know, acting on all that really intense emotion. So take a step back, be patient, be calm, think it through, and be logical, okay? That's another thing. Logical energy is very masculine energy too. So this has a lot to do with the way that we think and we communicate. There could be a lot of throat chakra blockages being open, a lot of root chakra work that's being done, you know. So if y'all want to know more about that, y'all be sure to subscribe to my memberships over on YouTube. I'll be talking a lot more about that over there. All right, so here's some ritual things that it is that you can do. I personally love to work with the element fire, but my sun is in Leo. You know, I have a lot of fire in my chart. So I really love to work with fire. So I use candles, you know. If you're new here, I don't hex, curse, jinx people. I don't do love spells. I don't even do any kind of spell work. But I do hex and curse removals. And I do kind of help you, you know, heal from past relationships and get back into your own energy and find empowerment in yourself, right? Where you don't need validation or you don't feel like you need to be in a connection or relationship to feel whole. Does that make sense? So if y'all are interested in that, y'all stick around. Y'all join the tribe. I'm so excited that y'all are here. Thank y'all for spending some time with me. All right, so another thing that you can do is charge crystals, okay? Well, wait, let me go back to candles. If you're trying to manifest with candles, I'll give you just, I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is that I do, but I will share that, you know, If you just need a candle, use a white candle. It's universal, right? You're going to pray. You're going to visualize what it is that you want to come about. You're going to light that baby. You're going to say a little prayer. You're going to light that baby. You're going to let it go. You're going to detach from the outcome of it. And you're just going to be like, okay, it's already done. It's already on its way to me. And you're just going to let it go. Okay? And when you do that, I'm telling you, it shows up. Now, it may not show up tomorrow. This is not Amazon, y'all, where you place... or you place an order and you can have it at your door now in a couple hours, right? This is going to take some time. So let go and let God, Source, Universe, whatever that looks like for you, whatever label you want to put on it, okay? Let it work. Let it do its thing. Let it create, there's certain things that are having to shift, right? There's certain relationships that are having to exit out of your life, okay? Maybe you need to clutter your home, whatever that looks like for you, but allow the time and the space for it to match up with you, okay? Because you're already on the way there. And once you let your intention go, it starts to match up to you. So make sure you're doing the work and doing what it is that you need to do to be in that vibration to match up with what it is that you want, okay? Or what you already have, darling. Okay, we'll reword that a little bit. Thank you for that. I'm sending all that love and light back to you times 10. How y'all doing? What else is here about rituals? Journaling. I have y'all dreams. Y'all's dreams may be like really intense during this time too, right? The veil is thin. So there's a lot that's coming to surface, or there's things that you're seeing that maybe you weren't seeing before, right? Because of all the confusion, or I'm getting a lot of like the static energy too, right? Especially when it is that I've been like channeling messages lately. There's certain things that's just like staticky, real staticky or foggy, right? So that may be lifting where you're seeing more clearly. Your intuition is getting sharper, right? And I know if y'all resonate with anything that I say, I know all of y'all are already intuitive. Right? Most of the time, I'm telling y'all stuff you already know. I'm just confirming it for you. Most of y'all are spot on most of the time, And usually when you're not spot on, it's just because like you may be under a lot of stress, and that stress could be affecting, you listening to your gut rather than your head, where you're getting in like a 9 of Swords type of energy. You're focused on some sort of past trauma, or you're getting really stressed out about the future, with all that anxiety. However, there's a lot of this getting grounded energy, so make sure that you're getting grounded. What are some ways that we can get grounded? Go out for a walk. Get outside in nature. There's a lot about taking your shoes off and walking and getting grounded in the earth. Y'all, this is science, okay? This is like old school ancient stuff that people used to do way back in the day before we had cell phones. Crap, okay? Like connecting with the earth is a real thing. What else? Oh yeah, I was talking about journaling. If y'all are having really intense dreams, I really recommend keeping that dream journal. I'm sure y'all have heard that before. Thanks for all the love. I don't know who's hitting that heart button, but I'm sending all the love and light back to you times 10 love. Thank you so much for being here. But write your dreams down, y'all. I have notebooks upon notebooks upon notebooks, and it's just gibberish scratch, like it just looks like that. It's got little doodles all over it, and like notebooks upon notebooks of just downloads of stuff that it is that I get. Looks like a crazy person's library, but it's my downloads, it's my records, right? A lot of y'all are. There's this energy here where you're releasing control of these old belief systems, and as you let go of more of that, and you align with that ascension, that light within yourself, you're also opening up more of a connection with that Akashic records, right? Where you're in tune with the past, present, future. You're starting to remember that you are connected to the all that ever was and the all that ever will be, right? And that's very empowering, right? And you can really use that and project that out too. So it's actually really beautiful energy to be in. It could be a little bit difficult right now, but I'm telling you, it's going to work out in your favor, especially when we move into this 8-8 portal. Y'all know I love the 8-8 portal. That's a big one. All right. There's a lot of, journaling about what it is that you're ready to commit to. So there's a lot about this goals, okay? So I know y'all have heard about dream boards, especially if you work with manifestation, okay? This is a really good time to make a vision board, or like a CEO of your own life type of vision board, right? Over the next 6 months, okay? We just entered into the second half of the year, okay? So this is it until 2025. So this is something that it is that I downloaded. I want you to write down what your goals are for the next month, for this next lunar cycle. Okay. I want you to write down what it is that you want to achieve in the next 3 months. Okay. And then I want you to write down what you want to accomplish in the next 6 months or by the end of this year. Okay. And we'll talk more about that as we enter into the third quarter of the year. But right now we're going to just focus on this whole last 6 months. All right, so here's some little messages. Hey, y'all, how you doing? Thank y'all so much for following, sharing, commenting. There's free readings for subscribers, okay? So anytime that y'all pop in here and you got the little badge next to your name and y'all want a reading and I'm doing personal readings, y'all are more than welcome to pop in. I'll get you cards pulled for you, okay? Okay, so this is for sun, moon, rising, and stelliums. Aries, your grind is being tested. It's time to cut off distractions and level up. Let go of all instant gratification. You're being shaped into a legend. Oh yeah, y'all know that song, Legend Never Dies? Legends never die when the world is calling you, right? I'm hearing that song, Aries. Maybe that's your theme song over this moon cycle, okay? Taurus, expand your horizons or stay stuck. If the comfort zone feels suffocating, it's because it's time to evolve. You're being called to lead, not follow. All right, Taurus, it's time for you to get them horns and aim where it is you're trying to go, boo-boo, okay? Because if you don't take control of your own life, somebody's going to be taking Taurus by the horns, okay? So it's time for you to step up and be a leader, all right? Taurus, don't you be following, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm sending all that love and light back to you times 10. Gemini. Now, Geminis, I know y'all are really kind of, if y'all are friends with a Gemini, sun, moon, rising, or stellium, don't mess with them during this time, okay? Because they got a lot of stuff surfacing and they are quick with the mouth, okay? Geminis are quick-witted, right? They're quick with the comeback. So give them a little bit of grace. Gemini's been going through it right now. So emotional debts are due. Release what you've been avoiding. Secrets and ties old wounds. This is a detox moon. Make space for true intimacy and trust. So yeah, so if you Gemini placements, y'all may be really going through it right now, especially with the way that it is that you are expressing your emotions. And that's probably why it's really chaotic for you during this time, the way that it is that you're expressing yourself. You know, you may have people kind of looking at you like you bipolar right now. You know, one minute you're happy and the next minute you're really, you know, you could be angry or going off on somebody, you know, and that's just because you're learning how to actually express yourself, especially if you've been internalizing a lot of stuff. I know a lot of air moons can internalize a lot of emotions. So release that. Cancer, the way you relate is shifting. Relationships that don't respect your growth are dissolving, and the moon brings clarity on who's truly loyal in your future, not just your past. So yeah, Cancer, you're really starting to see where loyalties lie. Who's been showing up for you? Who's really been giving to you, especially if you've been giving to them, right? Because there's a lot of this like balanced energy going on right now, right? Universe likes balance. Y'all look at the law of balance. So if people haven't been giving to you, or, you know, they're not going to help you grow in any type of way, and they've got to be interdependent relationships, y'all. You're good on your own. The other connection, whatever that is to you, is good on its own. You come together and make each other better. Does that make sense? Equal give and take. It's got to be an infinite flow of energy exchange, okay? That's how it is that we make those harmonious connections and we keep the energetic flow going. Think currency, especially when we're talking about money, y'all. What do you call money? Currency. It needs to keep moving. It's not supposed to stay stuck, okay? Leo, it's discipline over drama now, baby. Your next glow up depends on your habits, not your hype. You're building a new lifestyle that supports your purpose. Stay focused. Leos, it's very important for you to stay disciplined, self-discipline, and obedience, darling, okay? What is your moral code, right? Or what is your code of conduct is what I just heard, okay? What is your code of conduct, right? You need to make sure that you're sticking in that, okay? Because there's a lot of energy coming at you, and it may be getting you really amped up, okay? Somebody maybe even be trying to like push your buttons or kind of, yeah, something about the bear. They want to keep poking the bear. So be careful about people poking the bear, okay? You just need to stay low key and just play stupid, all right? You just look at them like this. Huh? That's all you got to do. And then turn around and walk away. All right, Virgo, don't dim your light. I'm sorry, y'all. I get a little sassy. All right, Virgo, don't dim your light to stay safe. The world needs your magic, not your modesty. It's time to take up space creatively and spiritually. Stop waiting for permission. Yeah, Virgo, it's time to come out of hermit mode, babies. Okay? It's time to let your light shine here. This is where it's time to step up. Okay, the world, the natural world needs you, Virgo, right? You are a very earthy sign. You're very, very humanitarian, you know, so we need you. We need all that light, Virgo. We need your healing. So remember to not be afraid of your own magic, okay? There's no need to be too modest. You can come out and see all of us a little bit, Virgo, okay? We want to see your crazy side. Libra, heal your foundation so you can rise. Ooh, Libra. All family karma or home-related blocks may surface. Choose your peace over people-pleasing. You're allowed to be your own safe place. Wow, Libra. So you're really taking charge here where you're not being indecisive, right? You're definitely feeling like things have been unfair, or if you feel like things aren't fair and balanced, you're cutting it off. You're like, I ain't dealing with it right now, right? That's a really good energy to be in, right? I feel like at Libra energy, maybe you've been overlooked or stepped on, or maybe you just haven't had the confidence to really go after what it is that you want, what you really want, you know, from everybody else's opinions, right? It's like, I'm just seeing like a lot of just like chatter going on. So release everybody else, what it is that they're saying, what their opinions, what their stipulations are, boo-boo, and you go after what it is that you want, okay? You're allowed to be safe in your own space. You're allowed to be you in your own skin. And you know that you'd all fly, Libra, okay? So quit. Scorpio, use your voice like a weapon of truth. This is your green light to speak your truth, even if it shakes the room. Right, speak and share your message. People are listening. Yeah, Scorpios, if you have a story to share, it's green light, go. Okay, it's time for you to speak up, right? I was talking a lot about that throat chakra opening up. It's time for you to share your story. Maybe you want to write a blog. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe you want to start a podcast or something. Yes, darling, we need to hear your story. Okay, Sagittarius, your values are your currency. The moon is asking you to look at your self-worth, money, and what you've been tolerating. Raise your standards spiritually and financially. Sagittarius, it's time for you to remember that you are amazing, right? You're ruled by Jupiter. You are expansion. You are luck. You are the higher knowing, the higher knowledge, okay? So I want you to remember how amazing that you are and how you're a spiritual being having a human experience, right? And financially, you deserve everything that is that your heart's desires. You just got to align with the energy. So don't hold yourself back. Remember your self-worth. Remember how amazing that you are. And go after your dreams. Capricorn, this is your reset moment. Let go of the old version of you that played it safe for survival. The rebirth you've been praying for starts when you stop settling. Yeah, Capricorn, you're the goat. You are the goat, boo-boo. What do goats do? They climb the mountain step by step. And that's a steep-ass mountain. Y'all ever seen that? A goat climb a mountain? So you were really great at climbing the corporate ladder. This is where that Saturn energy, it can really benefit you. If you're not too obsessive, you know, because that's the shadow part of Capricorn. That could be very obsessive and controlling. However, you know, using that to your advantage, being stubborn, being that very goal-oriented type of energy, being the goat, right? You're going to get to where it is that you're trying to go. It's inevitable. You are one of the most resilient signs. You never give up, right? You're always pushing past or going up that next step, climbing that corporate ladder, right? Or maybe you're already a CEO and you're expanding your business. Okay, but yeah, stop settling, Capricorn. You deserve the whole bag. Aquarius, reset is your revolution. Step back, go inward and realign. Let your inner world get as much attention as your outer goals. Dreams are giving divine messages. Aquarius, boo-boo, you are the star. You are the star in the sky. You represent miracles. You represent shakeups in a way that are evolutionary because you're revolutionary, you know? So make sure that you're sharing your divine messages or that you are being open to receive divine messages. Pisces, your soul tribe is calling. Release the need to fit into old friend groups or networks. You're aligning with a bigger vision and people who match that vibration. Pisces, this is where you're stepping into an energy where it's bigger than you, right? I kind of feel like if this resonates with you, you kind of felt like maybe your purpose was a little bit higher, you know, it's bigger, right? So if you felt that over long, like this could even be like childhood, you know, like, and Pisces doesn't like to be out in the open all the time. You know, every now and then Pisces likes to come out and play, but Pisces actually wants, you know, they need time to be by themselves, that they're in la la land. They want to be in their dream world, you know, so that dream that it is that you have, it's time to make it a reality. Yes, darling, you're here to help us be in that dreamy type of energy or to believe in dreams, you know, that dreams are possible. So never sell yourself short, okay? You don't need to fit into that society, to that social group, right? You are you, and you are uniquely dreamy, and you represent like the spiritual realm in general, right? All these things that it is that make you you, it's okay for you to start sharing that with the world, okay? All right, and so if it's fallen apart, it was never built to carry your divine purpose. Let it burn. So whatever it is that you feel like is leaving your life, okay, or you feel like just things are burning down, like I'm seeing the Tower card in tarot, right? Let this tower fall, okay? You're going to take the bricks that it is that you need to rebuild some sort of new foundation. The reason why this tower is happening is because it was built on a faulty foundation. It's not that there wasn't good aspects of it. It just means that it's not as strong as it could be. And you're giving a chance to have what it is that you want. You just need to start. You just need a stronger structure. Does that make sense? All right, y'all. I hope that y'all found a message that resonates with you as far as the full moon and Capricorn energies go. I'm going to pull some cards here. Okay. All right, Spirit. Best and highest message here for the collective. Oh, wait. Let me call in Spirit before we start pulling cards. Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. Thank y'all so much for being here. Thank y'all for the badges. Thank y'all for the gifts. Thanks for the follows, the shares. I appreciate all of that very, very, very much. I'm sending all that love and light back to you times 10. If y'all are wanting to watch the replay, it'll be posted to my YouTube as soon as I can get it up, okay? All right, y'all. Wanting to watch the replay, it'll be posted to my YouTube as soon as I can get it up, okay? All right, y'all. First, we're going to get some sage. We're going to slow it down just a moment, just a little bit. I want y'all to take some inhales in and hold it. And when you exhale, I want you to release all the tension, all the stress, all the ick. Just let it go. Relax. You kind of do that a few times. We're going to cleanse your energy. Good juju for you. Cleanse my energy. Good juju for me. We're going to get some Palo Santo and we're going to protect real quick. By the way, everything's been charged with Holy Fire Reiki. If you don't want that, all you have to say is, I do not accept. If you do want it, all you have to say is, Spirit, I'm ready and open to receive. All right. There's nothing mid-level about it. It's just energy work, y'all. Protect your energy. Protect my energy. Thank you, Spirit. Oh, that's Palo Santo. Smells so good. You like Palo Santo? I love the way Palo Santo smells. Okay. God, Source, Universe, Angels, Ancestors, Spirit Guides, Council of Light, Ascended Masters, and all other benevolent beings of light of the third heaven and higher. I ask that you shield us in a holy divine white light of protection. Shield our space, our energy, and this stream from any outside negative energies, entities, and it is not allowed here. Spirit, I ask that you aid, guide, and support me in channeling the best and highest message for the collective during this time supposed to be. Thank you, Spirit. Whew, that's always a mouthful to say, but we got to do it. We got to do it, okay? Because that's how we roll over here. Make sure that we're connected and protected. All right, now we can hop into these cards. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let me when you feel a different energy. What does that mean? What you talking about, Anna? I don't understand. All right, Spirit. Tell me about the overall energy here. Overall energy for this Capricorn new moon. Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. Six of Cups. Cherished memories. Okay. So this is something from the past showing up here with the Six of Cups. Could be a relationship with someone else, or you could just be feeling really nostalgic on something, or here's this past stuff surfacing to be released. Tell me about the Six of Cups. Someone may be drinking a lot. That's random. Somebody may be drinking a lot, like thinking of you, or when they drink, they think of you. Somebody could be at the bar. I don't know what that's about. That don't have anything to do with this message, Spirit. All right, tell me about the Six of Cups. Ace of Wands. Here's this motivated new beginning, y'all. Some sort of passionate new beginning. I'm getting a love story, but we ain't focused on love right now. All right, Spirit, best and highest messages here. Six of Cups and the Ace of Wands. And this Eight of Coins. Yeah, see, it's time for you to be really focused on what it is that you're trying to bring about, or what it is that you're very passionate about. You know, what aligns with you? What do you want? What do you desire? For real, for real. Like, deep down. The things that you don't tell anybody. Because you feel like they'd naysay it or pee all over it, right? Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're doing. And a lot of these people, a lot of these people are trying to talk you out of what it is that you want to do, or they make you feel less than, or they want you to self-doubt, like, what it is that you want to align with, right? It's because they don't know what they want. Why do you get to know what you want, but I don't know what I want, right? Or why do you get to believe in yourself in doing that? Or how dare you have the audacity to have the confidence to go after it or to believe that way, right? No. You focus on you and what it is that you want to do, and you don't listen to all the noise. See how all the noise in the background's blurry, the blurring in the background, right? This is your baton. This is your fire. You're creating this. Your legacy, your life, your path. You are the author of your own story. There's a lot about taking your power back, okay? Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. All right. We got the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands. Yeah, it's time for you to conquer this shit, okay? You can do it. What's the situation? What's the situation here? Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. Ooh, shit, that came right out. Y'all see that? Seven of Coins. It's time for you to get really focused, or you're focused on the fruits of your labor or some sort of like investment. Yeah, look, your egg is hatching, right? You've been nurturing this little egg here, whatever this egg is to you, whatever this represents, okay? But it's cracking open, it's hatching. Something's hatching here for you. Or it's time for you to put in the work. Something about worth the investment on something. Tell me about the Seven of Coins situation. Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. Judgment. There's some. You're needing to surrender to something. Like what will be, will be. I'm hearing like K-sa-da-sa-da. What will be, will be. An earned reward, or there's something about just giving it to God, source, universe, whatever that looks like for you, okay? What we say down here in Mississippi is Jesus take the wheel, okay? So Jesus take the wheel moment. So God, source, universe, take the wheel, whatever that looks like for you. I'm in Mississippi, y'all, for those of you that are new. Of all places in the world. I got dropped right here into Mississippi. All right, Spirit. What's the challenge? What's the challenge for the collective for this full moon energy? Where are y'all from? We got anybody from the south? All right, Five of Coins, hard misfortune. The challenge is maybe you've experienced a lot of misfortune, or maybe there's a lot, maybe you grew up like not necessarily in poverty, maybe you did, or there's just these really restrictive belief systems over abundance, or like what it is that you could have, or the possibilities of that because of your circumstances of when you were growing up. I don't know what that has to do with this. Actually, yeah, it does actually align. We talked about that a little bit earlier. So there's a need to let go of like a belief system that you're not good enough, you're not worth enough, or that you don't have the value someone else has. Like don't get caught up in that, right? You set the tone of how people are going to treat you and see you. And they don't have to like you, but they're going to respect you. See what I'm saying? Six of Wands. Yeah, this is what's keeping you from having some sort of victory or recognition. You are worth it. You do deserve it. Okay, when you get there, if this isn't in the physical realm where you're being recognized for something because you're a fucking rock star, okay? You know, that's your spirit team. Those are the little boo shoes surrounding you, right? Collective, right? You are worth it. Give yourself a fucking chance. Don't wait on them to give you a chance. Whoever the fuck is out there, okay? Because it ain't ever going to show up. You got to take the opportunity. I'm seeing like Coco. Y'all seen that movie Coco? Seize the moment. Yeah, this is your time to seize a moment. All right, Spirit. What's in the current energy? Texas. You in Texas? Oh my goodness, my heart goes out to y'all that have been dealing with the floods, all the families that have been affected by the floods. That reminds me of Katrina down here in 05. You remember that? That was rough. Louisiana. How you doing, Louisiana? I see you, neighbor. What's going on? All right, Spirit. That's nice message here. Current energy. Five of Swords. So, yeah. It's time for you to do whatever it takes to win. Not going against your own moral code or compass here. Okay. You picking up what I'm throwing down. We're staying in high vibration here. But you're all indeterminate, you know. So it also tells me that there could be a lot of conflict, just like with people like naysaying you, or, you know, people are constantly in competition with you for something. Or if people are constantly in competition with you, that's a good thing. I know it's a bitch, but, you know, that's a good thing. If everybody's in competition with you, it means that they feel threatened by you. They think that you're better than them. And really, nobody's better than anybody, you know. We all the same when you pull the skin back, y'all. But, yeah, it's time for you to go after what it is that you want. Also, y'all be weary of people coming to start crap with you, or, you know, like, and this is one of those energies where it's like they can dish it out, but they can't take it, okay? So, y'all ever seen, like, House of Dragons, where the cousins get in a fight, and it's like the older one against, like, one of the younger ones on different sides of the, I can't remember who's who, y'all. I'm just using this as a reference, you know, but they get into a fight, right? But this person starts it, but then they get pissed off when they lose an eye. Like, make that make sense. Like, we're not toying with that right now, right? No. There's no room for that. We're getting serious about our goals, our dreams. What is it we're here to do? You know, we're sick of sitting around doom scrolling shit and looking at a bunch of AI all the time, right? AI has a place, maybe, but everybody's sick of seeing the fakey, right? We're more interested in seeing the authentic, the real stuff, the real truth. 5 of Swords. What else is here? Current energy. Death. Yeah. Major endings happening. Okay, cycles coming to an end. And these old cycles, yeah, you're ending this conflictive energy where people are just committed to either misunderstanding you, or they're committed to take you down, or naysay you, or just start crap with you. A lot of you are getting over yourselves. You're getting over your own cringe. Look, when you go after what it is that you want, you better get used to feeling cringe about yourself. That's just part of it. That comes with the territory. If you can get over being cringe, you can accomplish a lot. What else is here? So put it into your fear. Everything that you want is on the other side of that fear. Fear of being judged. Fear of failure. You didn't fail, boo-boo. You're learning a lesson. You know what not to do. That's what's going to give you this Ace of Coins. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Y'all claim it. Y'all claim that Ace of Pentacles, right? This is something you prayed for. You've been hoping for. You spoke this out into existence, and here it comes, okay? Everything you touch turns to gold. There's a lot of potential showing up here. Now, what do we say about potential? There's something that's aligned in the stars for you. This could even be like generational, okay? We don't just talk about financial gain here. We talk about spiritual abundance, and spiritual abundance is it's worth a lot more than this monetary gain. Tell me about this Ace of Coins. What is this Ace of Coins? The Empress. Yeah, you're getting ready to birth out this new version of yourself out into the world, okay? Is there some sort of rebirth coming out here? And like, it's coming in real heavy. You know, you're saying no to people, places, and things that didn't want to give you a chance. You're putting an ending to it. No, I'm done with that. I'm not entertaining that anymore. And you're coming into this energy where you're birthing this new stuff out into the world. This new you, this new idea, this new project, this new business, whatever that looks like for you here. Some of you are actually pregnant with a baby. Okay, we do have this. We're going through a massive baby boom during this time too. If you actually look back in the last baby boom, I think a lot of the planets were in the same area. I don't know. Y'all go look at that though. That was really interesting. How we're having like this baby boom. So you're seeing like lots of babies getting born, or there's a lot of people getting pregnant right now. Ace of Coins and the Empress. Wonder what that's about. 10 of Cups. Yeah, look, you are worthy of everything that your heart's desire. This ultimate happiness that it is that you would experience. You know? Why can't you have that? Why not you? Why not you? This is another thing, right? These people that wanted to hate on you, or they want to naysay, okay? First they hate you, then they love you. That's how it goes, right? Everybody's going to try to tear you down. Everybody's going to go against what it is that you're doing. And when you triumph anyway, right? Of course, they can't help but to love you. They can't help it. It's in the energy. It's the way it is. It's the law of the universe. Okay, Spirit. Energy coming towards the collective. Energy coming towards the collective. How y'all doing? Welcome. Thank you so much, Gaia. I appreciate that. How y'all doing? King of Swords. Ethics over emotions. What do we talk about in that astrological energy here, right? Yes, you're thinking clearly. You're being smart and strategic, especially if people are trying to bring you an energy where they're trying to get you amped up or act out of character. You know, this is where you're really, you know, speaking assertively. Okay, but you're also thought about the words that it is that you're speaking. Okay, a lot about the strategy, a lot about patience, observation, okay? A King of Swords in the upright, this is someone who is very intelligent. They're very patient. They know when to move, right? We're talking about chess player energy, okay? So that they're very smart, very intelligent, very patient. It's also a very honorary type of energy, okay? What else is here, Spirit? Energy coming towards the collective. Hi, how you doing? Hi, Carla Joe. What's going on, love? I'm so glad you're here. Thank y'all so much for the follows. I appreciate that. Welcome, y'all. I'm sending all that love and light back to you times 10. What's going on? All right, so we've got the 3 of coins and the Knight of Cups. Yes, teamwork. You're being smarter about the collaborations that it is that you're having, about this new project, about the foundation that it is that you're building. You know, and that's what's bringing you this emotional fulfillment, right? A wish come true. Look, this is like rubbing on a genie bottle over here, okay? God, Source, Universe is answering. You're getting some sort of wish come true. Hi, y'all. How you doing? Welcome. Thanks for being here. What's going on? Thanks for the love. Send all that love and light back to you times 10. Just a heads up, anybody that wants personal readings, it's for subscribers only. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got going on. Energy coming towards the clip. Tell me about this 9 of Cups. Wow. This is because you're giving up some sort of ego. Okay, there is a lot of ego deaths going on. Or overcoming egos. So there's a lot about getting in some sort of alignment here. So the energy coming towards you, you could be omitting, I can't talk, y'all. You could be omitting a lot of ways that you were overindulging in things, you know, or being very self-destructive, where you're giving your power up over to other people, places, things, situations, ideas. Put it where it fits, don't make it fit. But, you know, there's this energy of, it could even be people who are toxic or jealous of you. Look at this person in the background, kind of like looking over here, you know. So it's almost like you're going to be so successful that you're going to shock people. They're going to be looking at you like, how are you not down and out? You know, so I feel like I'm talking to a collective group of people where, like, you know, it's like you keep getting knocked down, right? You keep trying, you keep going. It's like, just keep getting knocked down, right? So this is where you're overcoming all of that. And you got people looking at you like, you were supposed to be here. Why are you not here? Because this is where I'm at. Why can you not be here, right? So don't pay any attention to that shit. Don't give your power up to that. Call your energy back. Put your stake in the ground. No. It's a full sentence. Hi, how you doing? Welcome. Thank you for being here. Send all that love and light back to you times 10. By the way, replay will be posted to YouTube at Lady Leo Spiritual. If y'all interested in watching the whole reading. Okay, Spirit. Y'all stay tuned. I got a bonus reading that I got to do too. I got a lot of downloads today. It was really chaotic. So we're going to go over that. Something about maze, entrapment, surveillance, setup keys, chloroform, training, clearance, danger. So we're going to go over that in a little bit after I get done with this collective message of Capricorn full moon. All right. Tell me about blockages. What's external blockages, external conflicts here? External blockages, external conflicts here. If y'all are in third-party situations, y'all just need to end that shit. That's what's blocking your blessings right there. Okay? They ain't leaving the person for you, then if you in a relationship with somebody and you thinking about somebody else, you have no business being in the relationship that you in. End it. What are you doing? That is so shitty. You know? How would you feel if that was you? If you're laying next to somebody and they telling you that you love them and that you love them, they love you, but they thinking about somebody else. You wouldn't like that. Treat people how you want to be treated. We have the Hermit. Soul searching. There's a lot of this soul searching going on, right? You're going within and you're finding your own light. You're listening to yourself. You're getting in alignment with what you want, what you think, what you feel, what you desire. Not what everybody else is telling you that you want. What do you really want? When's the last time you really sat and thought about that? Without all these other people's projections of who you should be or what you should be doing or what this is supposed to look like, all this comparison energy. You're on your own path, your own journey. You have your own story to write, right? This is yours to create, not everybody else, right? So there's a lot about this soul searching, going within, really learning about what that is. And yeah, there could be some sort of homecoming, or there's a lot about this celebration about some sort of stability that it is that you're creating for yourself here. Okay, and it could even be, some of you are coming into union here. Look, somebody's being wined and dined. All right, now this isn't with another person. This is just with either you're finding harmony within yourself, between your masculine and feminine, which is a beautiful energy to be into, Or this could be like a job, a career, you know, just whatever the other energy that is that you're connecting is showing up as harmonious. It is a green light go here. It looks beautiful. I'm so proud of y'all. I've really been doing the work. Or you're going to be doing the work. Either way, it's looking really good here. I mean, we've got a little bit of conflicts where people are like trying to come in and they want to mess up your stability. They want you to, some people just don't want to see you out and about. Okay, some of y'all's light just really irritates people's demons. You ever feel that way? Where you just walk in and everybody's just like, oh God, here they are, all extra, just the know-it-alls. You know, it's not that you know it all. You just know the answer in the moment. And you're confident about speaking up about it, right? These people are looking at you like, well, I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? I knew the answer, damn it. All right, y'all. Yeah, but there's a lot about this, like people judging you if like you get really excitable or animated or like you really kind of get into your own energy where you're expressing yourself freely, unapologetically, you know. So they're just upset because they can't do that for themselves, okay? They got to stay surface level, all right? They can't show their depth out into the world because it's just too intense, you know? So don't worry about being too intense for anybody. There's a tribe out there that matches the level of intensity. Go find your peoples, okay? All right, Spirit. What about strengths? What are the strengths here? Nine of Coins. Glow up. Level up. Right, looking good, smelling good, feeling good, all that in a bag of chips. This is where you've earned all these badges. This is about your expertise, you know? So I'm picking up on a collective group of energy where like you're a jack of all trades but master of none, you know? You're really good at a lot of different things, and that actually what's make you very well-rounded, multifaceted. You know, it's a very beautiful thing. And the world is your oyster. Some of y'all are meant to speak to the world internationally, or whatever it is that you're creating is going to go international, you know. But there's some sort of big cycle that's closing out here, and that's what the strength is allowing this cycle to close out and being excited to jump into this new energy. Leave the past behind. It's not here anymore. It doesn't exist anymore. The past, only up here. That's where it gets all in the mind fuck, right? Let that go. Keep that. That's what's keeping you stuck. Especially those of you that are working on manifestations and things like that, right? Manifestation only happens in the present moment. We have no control over the past. It already happened. We have no control over the future. Well, we do if you stay in the present moment. Manifestation happens in the present moment. Okay. What's the overall spiritual advice? Thank you. I liked your energy. I appreciate that, love. Send all that love and light back to you, times 10. Thank y'all for being here. Okay. 10 of Wands. Release the burdens. This is where I'm talking to people who are no longer people pleasers. Maybe you were at one point in time, you know, because you didn't know no better yet. But we're regaining some sort of empowerment here, right? You're not allowing everybody else to put all these extra responsibilities. You're not feeling overly obligated. This is where you've been overextending yourself. You keep saying yes to people, places, and things, situations when like that's not yours to carry. This is where you're giving back. You're like, you can take your shit back. I can't take all this. I've got to go this way. This is where my abundance is. This is where my blessings are. I'm going that way, right? And you're like, I'm not carrying your shit no more. You carry it. You take it back. You go block your own damn blessings. Don't block mine, right? So there's a lot of this, like, you've just been feeling really burdened, or there's just this heaviness here, or this sense of responsibility for something. But no, that's not yours. That's not yours. You give that back to wherever it goes. Respectfully. I don't want it. I don't want it. You take it back, baby. All right, we got the Two of Swords. So, yeah, this is what has been hard for you, though. Okay? This is what's been maybe keeping you confused or at a crossroads with something or lacking clarity, you know, kind of like, do I go this way or do that go that way? So there's a decision that needs to be made, or that's what it is. This is very burdensome decision that it is that you're making to release whatever this is. Dang, these cards are flying out. Yep, the Hangman. But this is what's giving you a new perspective and enlightenment to something. It's like as soon as you can release this out of your energy and you make this decision to go in a different way, it's actually helping you get closure. If you're looking for closure for anything, y'all, the moment that you were disrespected is when you got your closure, right? If they cannot treat you with love, respect, and kindness, they can't even afford admission into your energy. Yes, you were that amazing. I don't care who you are. They can't treat you with love, respect, and kindness. They can't afford it. Go to the end of the line. You were not in the VIP section. Two of Wands, moving forward. Yeah, see this enlightenment, this new perspective. whatever this information is that's coming to you, is helping you plan on which door to go in, right? Because there's a lot of different opportunities here. Okay, so that's what it is that you're doing, is you're trying to figure out, to plan on which door you're going to open, you know, what could possibly be beyond that door, right? A lot about listening to your intuition and let spirit guide you towards where and you're taking this fearless action, the Knight of Wands, conquering what it is that you want, you know. Two of Coins. Just get your priorities in order first, right? There could be like just a lot of this like lack of focus or this juggling energy, but there's a need to cut something out, okay? You got to cut something out or create some sort of balance in the energy here about getting your priorities in order, getting your shit straight, getting your ducks in a row. You know what I'm talking about? All right, y'all. I hope that you found a message that resonates with you. Thank y'all so much for popping in and hanging out with me. Y'all are amazing. It's 1:44 on the clock, y'all. 3-3. Wow, spiritually speaking. So 144. Y'all could resonate with Chosen or Anointed or Starseed, Healer, Light Worker. I work with a lot of like warrior energy. Those are people that deal specifically with spiritual warfare, that kind of stuff. So, yeah, you're pretty special. I don't care what they told you. By the way, y'all be sure to like, share, subscribe. This is going to be posted to YouTube for replay. I'm recording it on TikTok. Those of you that are here live with me, thank y'all so much for being here. I'm sending all that love and light back to you times 10. I hope that you are incredibly prosperous, that you harness the energy of this full moon in Capricorn, and that you make your dreams a reality, because you definitely deserve it. And if it's possible for you, it's possible for me, it's possible for them, it's possible for we, okay? All right, y'all, I'll be back in about 15 minutes. So yeah, it'll probably be about, what is that, 2 a.m. here? And we're gonna go over these downloads here. So just in case you feel like maybe you need to come back if you see me live. So this is the downloads that I got earlier. Maze, entrapment, surveillance, setup, keys, chloroform, training, clearance, danger, numbers, 1010, 1111, 222, 444, 777, 7575, 999, 1133, and 144. Some crystals that it is that I've been picking up is Numite, Lapis Lazuli, Quartz, Fool's Gold, Amethyst, Rainbow Tourmaline, Rhodonite, Red Jasper, and Black Kyanite. Let's see. And a lot about static. Like I keep hearing static in my mind's ear. Does that make sense? But anyway, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Let me go get my water break. I'm gonna stretch my legs. I'm gonna take a little walk, and then check on the baby, make sure everybody's doing all right, and then I'll be back, y'all. All right? I love you. I love you. I love you, Starseeds. Don't forget to shine bright. And if your light ain't irritating by anybody's demons, you ain't doing it right. You know what I'm saying? Love and light.